Hello, beautiful YouTube family. How are you doing? Man, I missed you guys. Oh, but I've been going through it, and not in a bad way, but you guys, there are just times where God, the universe, just makes you stop, drop, and be for a bit. Just stop what you're doing, drop the expectations, and drop into the presence with what's happening, with what God's doing in your life. and there just comes a time where you've got to stop and reevaluate things, and it doesn't always have to be because something chaotic happened. In my case here, let's be real with you guys, I've got some really exciting stuff coming down the pipes, and really awesome opportunities opening up for me, and it still made me stop and think about where I want to go with my life, what I want my future to look like, how much I want to be working. And I've been going through another ego dissolution because I have been blessed with a job offer that is pretty much like a dream job, really, with beautiful people, good pay, and everything else. And this is a beautiful thing, especially in these times, to have this open up for me. But it really stopped me in my tracks, and I ended up having to really do some work around the fact that I had been identified pretty much as a workaholic for most of my life. And I didn't even realize how entrenched this identity was in my ego. And I started having anxiety attacks. I haven't had an anxiety attack in so long. And I had to bring you out in the sun. This is so nice right now. But I started having anxiety attacks. And I was just feeling exhausted and anxious, and I was like, why is this happening when something good is happening in my life? Actually, multiple good things are happening in my life. Why is this happening? What is this? And I didn't get answers for a while, and I really, really wanted to keep making videos, and I really wanted to keep producing content and doing the things, but I heard a very loud message that I needed to stop. I needed to stop and be quiet. So I pulled back from all of the social media. I pulled back from people too, and just because I also felt overstimulated by the smallest things. So I had to pull back, you guys, and I had to be quiet for a while, and I needed to rest. And then I started to have some revelations, and I started to receive some answers, okay? And what was happening was another awakening, another beautiful awakening. I was again starting to question how I was living. I was again starting to question how I identified. And for most of my life, I felt like I had to prove myself. I had to prove to myself and to other people that I was doing it, that I was being successful, that I was doing all the things. And somewhere along the line, I had equated success with being really busy, being so busy that I burnt out. And when I decided to pull back there, you guys, I had burnt myself out again. And it's amazing how these subconscious patterns prop up, and then all of a sudden you're in it again. And so I had burnt myself out again, and gotten to a point where I was like, I am so sick of this. I am so tired of this hamster wheel. So I prayed about it, and man, and sometimes the answers you get aren't the answers you want. And my answer was to slow down, to stop what I was doing and to go inside and to just be in the silence and be in my body and be in my thoughts. And it was rough in there for a while. And it sometimes is when you're facing your shadow like that. But I've just been going through a recalibration in my mind and how I perceive things, how I perceive success, how I perceive living the good life, and reevaluating what a good life is for me. And I've been through this a few times, but this one was really profound and really interesting. Just to see how frightened I was of not being that person anymore. I was actually quite frightened, and that's where the anxiety was coming from. My mind was frightened of not having that identity anymore, of being the person who's always busy, who's always doing. See, I had a beautiful job opportunity come up for me, and for those of you who don't know, I do graphic and web design as my day job, and I've been running my own business for a long time. And so this job that was offered to me is full-time. So I've been tapering off my client work, and it's been getting slower and quieter. And the slower and quieter my work life got, the quicker and louder my mind got. It was really weird. But yeah, so I've had some pretty profound revelations. I could probably talk about it all day, but I won't. But there are just, I really had to just sit in the quiet, sit in the void, sit in the not knowing, and get used to it. I've talked before about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. That I was practicing what I was preaching there. I had to get comfortable with the discomfort that I was feeling. I had to lean into it because I knew that great transformation was happening. And yeah, it's just so fascinating. But I had to really work on my mind and show myself that it was okay to move at a slower pace, and that it was okay to not identify as that person anymore who was always busy. And I wanted to just get to a point where I'm okay with not playing into the social media metrics too. I was getting a little bit caught up in that game of, watching the stats, and I had gotten some advice on my YouTube channel and actually gotten someone to audit it and go through and give me advice, and it was really solid advice. But I'm not here for the ratings, you guys. I'm not here for the likes. I'm not here for the numbers. The reason I started this channel was to connect with other people on the path and to offer my experiences and my learnings in the hopes that it would make your journey easier, that or just bring you some comfort if you're in the more difficult parts of your journey. And just put it out there so that other people don't feel alone. So I reconnected with that. And you can probably tell that my energy is a lot different. If you go back to my other videos and then you watch this one, you'll see and you'll feel that my energy is a lot different. Did some major grounding, and I just had to sit with it, you guys. Sit and be and feel and allow my nervous system to recalibrate to a more calm state, and allow my mind to adjust to the fact that it's going to be okay. If we don't have a jammed up inbox at the end of every day, and we don't have a big giant to-do list, and we don't have like a million calls in a day, it's a lot of energy. And I also had to wrap my mind around just taking better care of myself, which I thought I was doing, but this is on a way deeper level. Taking care of my spirit. I knew how to take care of my body, but I was shown new ways to take care of my spirit, which I'll share with you guys in more videos here. But I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what I've been going through and where I've been for the last month. It's a beautiful thing. But especially in the fast-paced world that we live in now, it can be hard to actually allow ourselves to go into the cocoon and to allow ourselves the space and the energy and the rest needed to transform. But it's so necessary. And it's important to remember too that there are seasons. There's different seasons in life. Just like you see the 4 seasons in nature, there are different seasons in life for all of us. And some are more active and some are more passive. Some are more productive and where you're building, and then others are more inward and transformative and building on the inside rather than constantly building on the outside. So if we can allow ourselves space to just be in all of these seasons, for one, we'll have a much deeper and more rich experience of life, allowing ourselves to experience all the seasons. Because if you're constantly stuck in the doing and fiery and productive season, like I have been for the last while, you will burn out. But also, you will have a one-dimensional experience of life where there's 4 seasons, and you could be having a 4-dimensional experience of life. So, food for thought. I really, I'm finally feeling like I've got the energy. I've recharged my batteries and I've filled my cup. So now I can give from my overflow. And so I wanted to make a video and bring you guys out in the sunshine and share a bit of what's been going on with me. So, oh man, the sun is amazing. I'm like actually getting a tan out here. But it's so nice to be in front of you again. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sending you all tons and tons of love from the Winter Wonderland. Yeah. Let me know what you think of this down in the comments down below. Share it with someone you love and subscribe for more videos like this. And let me know if you're up for sharing where you're at in your journey. I love hearing from you guys and I love connecting with you. So lots of love. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.